Hi there, I'm Larissa from ELCAS. Today I want to talk about two comparatives that even some natives find confusing. Do you use less or fewer? When do we use these two comparatives? So let's have a look at these words. So of course there's a quiz, there's an 8-question quiz in this video, but that's going to be later. Let's first have a look at the grammar side of things. So to begin with, both of these comparatives are formed from two adjectives. When we talk about fewer, we're talking about the adjective a few. When we talk about less, we're talking about the adjective little. Let's begin with talking about fewer. Now, when we use fewer, if we talk about few, the adjective, I have a few apples in the bowl. That was yesterday. Today, I have even fewer apples. Well, somebody ate half the apples in the bowl. So when we talk about fewer, we're talking about nouns that are countable and in their plural form. Let's look at these examples. Scott has fewer choices than his brother does. Paul has been looking for a job, but he found that this month, well, the site displayed fewer job ads this month. Poor Colin, he hasn't been feeling very well. Today he's a little better because, well, Colin has fewer symptoms today. And lastly, let's have a look at this sentence where we're talking about a team. The team does really, really well. However, well, the team needs fewer interruptions to get the job done. So when we're looking at these particular nouns, when we talk about choices, job ads, symptoms and interruptions, all of these nouns are countable, but they are in their plural form. So that's when we use fewer. When we talk about less, well, to try and remember having to use less instead of fewer, think about the adjective little. We always use little when we're talking about singular nouns that are uncountable. So if we come back and just look at little, I have little time left. Oh, she has little patience for anything. There's little salt on the table. So if you can remember, if you know how to use little, then we use less in exactly the same way for uncountable singular nouns. Let's have a look at these sentences. Bonnie has less tolerance than Jan does. Oh, poor Scott. He didn't do very well in his test. He got less than 50% in his test. Now you may ask, 50%, that's numbers. We can count numbers. Well, we can, but when we talk about percentages, we tend to use less. Now, the team had to work really hard to win that game, which they did, but there was less rest time in the second half of the game. And, well, back to the team again. The team normally does well, however, this month not so good. The team had less incentive this month. So here we have 4 nouns. Tolerance, 50%, remember numbers. Rest time and incentive. So all of these nouns here are uncountable in their singular form. Now, having talked about 50% and percentages, that leads me into looking at exceptions. And Funny about that, but in English, of course, we have millions of exceptions. This is no different. So let's have a look at some exceptions on when we should use less instead of fewer. Here is exception number 1. Do you have a queue at your local supermarket that has a sign saying 10 items or fewer? Grammatically, this is correct. However, we don't say this. We say 10 items or less. In Australia, we definitely have these types of queues, and you probably do in your country as well. So why do we say 10 items or less? Generally speaking, even though you can count items, when we talk about something in a large quantity or a quantity of different items, then we tend to say less. Lisa paid fewer than $10 for her pizza. Now, yes, you can count money. However, this is very similar to percentages. We don't say this. We say Lisa paid less than $10 for her pizza. When we talk about money, just like quantity, we use less. Sentence number 3. Ben is fewer than 2 kilometres away. Yes, we should say Ben is fewer because we can count kilometres. However, when we talk about distance, we use less. Ben is less than 2 kilometres away. You have fewer than 60 seconds left. And once again, we do not say this. We would say you have less than 60 seconds left. Maybe you're in a test and the teacher says this. So when we talk about time, we also use less, not fewer. And lastly, the last exception, here's an example. This watermelon weighs fewer than a kilo. No, we have to say this watermelon weighs less than a kilo. Why? Because we talk about weight. When we talk about quantity of different items, money, distance, time, and weight. Easy? So now we're up to quiz time. So here are 8 questions. All you have to do is decide whether to choose less or fewer. Good luck. Here we go. Question 1. The court predicts something cases with the new system to help plaintiffs. If you said fewer, you are correct. Number 2, we had something rain on the south coast. If you said less, correct. And we say less because rain is uncountable. Number 3, the new system has led to something deals, which has produced something sales. If you said fewer deals and fewer sales, once again, you are correct. We can definitely count deals and we can count sales. Number 4, Gary has something vision problems after his operation. Once again, if you said fewer, you are correct. Why is it fewer? Well, vision is uncountable, but in this instance, we're counting the problems, not the vision itself. Vision is the adjective to problems. So what type of problems? Vision problems. Number 5. Redheads make up something than 2% of the world's population. And the answer is less. Yes, and because we say less than, pretty much because we can see a percentage here. And also, population itself is both countable and uncountable, but when we're talking about the world, we're talking about a singular concept, therefore it is uncountable. Number 6. Tina is something involved in politics these days. And the answer is less again. Less involved in politics. Politics itself is uncountable. Number 7. Mandy is a woman of few words and something presentations. And the answer is fewer. We say fewer because presentations we can count. And here it's distinctly comparative of the adjective few. Number 8. Ron's sweet tooth is becoming something of an issue. And the answer is less of an issue. Once again, issue can be deemed here to be uncountable. I hope this video has cleared up your questions about whether to use less or fewer, if you had any questions about it. Anyway, if you enjoyed it, you know what to do. So, I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video. I'm Larissa. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.